Good morning. Yesterday, I showed a picture of one of the little angels that I did, um, or a video, and I showed it in quick mode. And this morning, I wanted to show you one in actual time. Kind of an impromptu live because honestly, I've had a really bad cold and I am struggling with it still. I still have the cough. I still have the um, runny nose. So please forgive me and bear with me this morning. But I just wanted to pop on here and show you guys actually how quick and easy this really is. Now this little angel, um, oh, there's something on her. I ordered and painted. I base coated it and then I waxed it because anytime you use the Chalk Couture transfers, if it's not on a chalk surface, you want to wax the surface first. What that does is that helps save your transfer for longer because if you don't wax it first, when you pull the transfer up, it will actually pull up little bits of, in this case, the red paint. It would, and it would stick to the back of your transfer, and it's rather hard to get off, even with the Clorox wipe. You can get it off, but it's harder to get off. So, the wax that I use, I'll show you, maybe, if it's not going out of the drawer here. Okay. My kids kind of rifle things sometimes. I use this Daddy Vans unscented furniture polish. It is something that I had from when I was redoing furniture. I've heard other people say they use the men wax. Just pick you up something at the Home Depot store or at one of the hardware stores. Or Chalk Couture sells little wax tubes that have the wax in them. I'm just going to continue using this until I run out. So that's just a little tip, but you need to wax your surface at least 24 hours before you actually chalk on it. We will get started. All right, this transfer I've used several times, as you can see. There's some staining around um, where the blue is, and that's okay. You just don't want any paste or anything in the actual screen itself. So when you're cleaning the transfers, sometimes some colors, especially with the inks, they will stain the blue part, and that's okay. You can, Chalk Couture sells little, trying to quit saying because my daughter's going to start charging me for it, little board erasers, and these will help take off any staining if you just don't like the staining. But it doesn't actually hurt anything unless it's in the screen part. Okay, the first thing we have to do is we have to fuzz our transfer. And I still don't have my fuzzing cloth, so I still use a lovely old t-shirt. I've heard of some people fuzzing on the t-shirts to have on, actually. It doesn't hurt them. All it does is help take some of the sticky off of the back of the transfer because it will stick rather hard sometimes, and you don't want that. You want to be able to pull it up with ease. Some of these transfers, once you've used them quite a bit, the sticky will kind of dissipate. And that's why I always recommend to people to use the Clorox disinfecting wipes to clean the back of them, because that sticky will come back if you use a Clorox wipe, not a baby wipe. No baby wipes. Okay, I've fuzzed that one enough. And then you just want to kind of get placement as to where you want it. And I'm going to have to stand this girl up to make sure I've got it straight, because for me, I didn't push it down on purpose. Oh, hello, Wasabi. My dear cat has decided to come visit. She sits in my window a lot. Once you've got the transfer where you want it, you just kind of rub it down pretty good. And then we will start inking, or not inking, sorry, chalking. I'm not using ink today. I used some ink yesterday. And where is the color? There it is, right in front of me. If it would have been a snake, it would have bit me. Okay, that looks pretty well mixed up. You always want your chalk to be about the consistency of sour cream. If it's not, you can just take a little bottle of distilled water, spritz it a few times, stir it around. And honestly, one of the things that discouraged me at first from signing up is I thought, these little jars are little. Well, I was so used to redoing furniture that I would go through a ton of these if I was doing furniture. But with the Chalk Couture, you use so little of it that, okay, I've had this jar since February, and I'm not even close to being empty. Because I'll show you, when you do the transfer, when you apply the paste, you squeegee most of it back up like so, and you put it back in your jar and you save it. Now, what we're going to do on this little gal is, since I'm going to be using several different colors, I'm going to use what's called the damp paper towel method. And all you do is you take a paper towel, a damp paper towel, you don't want it sopping wet, and you lay it down over the part you've chalked. That keeps the paste wet long enough for you to complete the rest of the project without the paste drying in the screen. It's really helpful. And we're going to go on to our next color, which is this navy blue. You just squeegee it on. You move fairly quickly because, like I said, you don't really want your paste drying in the silk screen. And then you wipe the excess back into the jar so you can save it for another time. I'm going to use the bigger squeegee to squeegee this up. You squeegee up the excess. And I usually like to go at it both ways, like I'll squeegee up and down and then sideways. And that just kind of helps me get it all up. Oh, I see a spot I missed. Plus, I'm trying to be super careful because I don't want to get it down there yet. Okay. I missed these two little spots right there. Now I'm going to move on with the next color, but first, like I said, you want to put the damp paper towel over your project. And that just keeps that screen from sticking in your silk screen, or it keeps the chalk paste from sticking in your silk screen. It keeps it damp. Okay, now we're going to do, let's see. Let me clean my squeegees off. Hello, I know it's early, but I just wanted to come on here and show, not the exact angel I did yesterday, but it's just a different color. So you guys could see. And actually, this is taking longer than it normally would because I'm doing multicolors. And if I wasn't doing that, then it would be even quicker. Okay. Apply the paste. Like I said, rather quickly. Somehow I still have some blue on that squeegee. We'll fix it. But you apply the paste and then you squeegee it up. The excess, put the excess back in your jar to save. And another thing that helps save the paste longer is I like to lay the lid back on it even while I'm working. I've never had a problem with them totally drying out. I've heard some that do, and you just add distilled water and re-wet it. It's pretty good. I've had some that have gotten somewhat dry, but not totally dry. Okay, and then we're going to put the paper towel down again because we still want to keep working. I think I got paste on my hand, which got it on the squeegee. I'm a messy crafter. All right, we are going to go back here, and we're actually going to use 3 colors on this. We're going to use the cream at the top. It's not called cream. I believe it's fallen. I don't want too much on my squeegee. Actually, with Chalk Couture, what I've found is less is better. Okay. Because in this instance, once you start mixing the colors, you really can't put it back in the jar because you've got one color. We're going to go to the little bit brighter blue. And we're going to move down. Now, what you can do at this point is if you want it blended even better, which I think I'm going to do, you can actually take your finger, just get right in there, and blend it together. And then I'm going to go on down to the darker blue. And in this case, I'm going to start at the bottom and come up. Whoops. Need to put that back. Clean off my squeegee to move on. And then I'm going to go this way with the squeegee. I don't know if you can see it, but I've kind of got a line where the dark and the light blue meet, and I don't want that. So I'm just kind of taking my squeegee and pulling it down because this isn't going to be an obvious line. Place my lids. And I'm just using water to clean the squeegee. It's not anything fantastic. You don't have to. The only thing I recommend you definitely get is Clorox wipes. Oh, I need to put my paper towel in there. I almost forgot. And I don't want that to dry in there. Okay. Now we'll move on to this bottom. I'm going to start squeegeeing it up. Put it back in my jar to save for later. I'm going to squeegee a little bit more of that. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring it down this way. Use my damp paper towel. And I'll actually tear them up because for me, I like to have more pieces that are smaller, especially when it's a smaller transfer. Now, if it was a bigger transfer, you might use the whole thing. Okay. Now we're going to move on to these sides. I'm going to scoot the paper towels over, and I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use my multi-tool. This is one of my favorite tools, and I'll tell you why. On one end, it's got a small squeegee, so it can get into these smaller spaces with ease. It's not near as difficult. And on the other end, you see it's curved, and that curved end will help you clean your jars. Like if you get a little bit of dry paste up on the edge, you can get it back down in there. It just gets deep in the corners of the jars and helps you keep it mixed together better, like so. See? And I can actually put my water on that and reuse that. Okay. Another damp paper towel. For this side, and then we're going to move over here. Using the multi-tool again, because like I said, it really does the smaller spaces for me better. And honestly, if I was not doing this on a live, I might take the time to unfold a paper towel so it would go over this part or even that part. But for the sake of the lives, I just have some torn up. Okay, now up here, we're going to do a very small bit of the beige or fawn. on both sides here. I want to get that even, or as even as I can. Squeegee off any excess. And then we're going to come back with our navy blue. And this navy blue is a little bit more liquid than the others for some reason. I think it's got to do with the pigments that they use in the different colors. Okay, now I'm bringing the navy blue from the bottom up. And I'm going to, again, take my finger and blend it because I don't mind doing that. Now, if you do mind doing it, then you could use your multi-tool for that too. Okay, now for the big reveal. Pick up all the paper towels, put them to the side, and voila. Now, had this not turned out the way I liked it, it is not permanent right now. It can be with water and a little bit of elbow grease, you can get that right off. This is my favorite way to clean the transfers. It does not have to be Clorox brand wipes. It can be Sam's Club, Walmart brand, whatever you've got close. I just happened to get a really good deal on a big package of these Clorox wipes. Clean the front. And what you're trying to make sure is that you get all of the paste out of the clear part. The blue part, like I said, unless you're particular about that, it's not as important that it come off the blue or the teal color. As a matter of fact, this blue sometimes stains pretty good. Oh, my Clorox wipes are sopping wet. I'm getting to the end of them, so they're wetter than usual. Wringing that one out. Then what you want to do is pull your transfer up. And one thing you don't want to do, I learned this the hard way, is when you're pulling up your transfer, you can lift it up from the corner, but you want to pull from either the top or the side. Because if you pull it up from the corner, you will stretch your transfer and ruin it. I stretched one so bad when I first started that I had to order another one. Now we're just going to clean the back with a Clorox wipe as well. And like I said earlier, this Clorox wipe, it not only cleans it, for some reason, I guess it's the chemical composition in the disinfectant wipe that will make this transfer sticky again. Not that it's unsticky, but it'll make it really sticky. So say if you have some transfers that you've used quite a bit and they've kind of lost their stick, I've heard that using a Clorox wipe on the back of them will make them sticky again. And I've noticed it on even the ones I do. It really brings the sticky back. Now, like I said, baby wipes will not work. So, and that's it. That's the end of the project. It is really super quick and easy. This one took longer because I was actually doing the different colors in the grate and things like that. So it took a bit longer than it normally would. Now for me, to make this permanent, this is my preference, I use polyacrylic. It's a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't yellow. And I've heard that Krylon is really good too. I've not personally used the Krylon. I always used polyacrylic on my furniture pieces because I have an actual sprayer for the furniture. And I just love the polyacrylic, so that's what I use. But I thank you guys so much for watching this morning. If you'd like to bless this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions about anything, please, please, please don't hesitate to message me. I am pretty much an open book as far as, well, really anything. You can ask me just about anything, and I'll tell you honestly, if I don't like something, I'll tell you. If I do, I'll tell you. I'm not one to just say, oh, I love that, even if I don't. As a matter of fact, when I first was thinking about Chalk Couture, I wanted to not like it really bad. And I've said this before on my lives, but I wanted there to be a reason that I wouldn't do it. And I really couldn't find one. It makes your project so much easier and quicker that for me, it was a definite yes. So, but I thank you guys for watching. And again, if you have any questions, just holler at me. Y'all have a great day.